Hey, welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Michelle, the owner of adreamlife.com and your dream driver, healer, creator over here at Surviving Narcissistic Deception, where I'm bringing you information about narcissism on the smaller scale and on the larger scale. And I couldn't just let this week go by, or probably the next few days go by, without giving you more reasons not to panic during this coronavirus so-called pandemic. Because if there's anything that narcissists love most, is to have their targets or people in general fearing for their lives, fearing for their livelihood, just fearing about anything. Because the more you're afraid, the more power that the narcissist can implement in your life. And there are so many ways. So yeah, I want to get into this topic and tell you why you shouldn't be afraid, and one thing that you might want to be concerned about. Even the President of the United States did not. He reluctantly decided to go ahead and declare the state of emergency, but he didn't want to. And you have so many strong, powerful people around him that felt that it was important to declare this state of emergency. And what he didn't want to happen is for people to start panicking and going crazy and going to the supermarkets and hoarding food. He even actually was quoted saying that. He said that please do not hoard food, that he had spoke with people, the executives at Target and Costco's and some of our big food chains, and they promised that food delivery and the things that we need to be able to survive have not been affected or intercepted or interrupted by this coronavirus pandemic. And then if you are like me and did some research just to compare the numbers of coronavirus instances with, let's say, the common cold or the flu, you probably already know that those numbers are drastically low. But let's just say that maybe because the coronavirus is something that we don't know enough about, which I don't believe is the case, that we don't know enough about, that we just don't want it to spread, right? And so we declare this state of emergency. I won't get into the conspiracy theories today, but let's just take a good best guess, giving the government and all the different people involved the benefit of the doubt of wanting to contain this. But how you report it is very important, because this narcissistic structure and society that we live in, and I try not to use the word greed, because greed sometimes would suggest that there's only a limited amount of resources, and so a person or an organization or an institution is acting in a way that is greedy to try to take more or most of it for themselves. Okay, so this is why I don't use the word, or I try not to use the word greed, because I believe that there are infinite resources, and particularly there are enough resources for all of us. It's just the cultural way that we have been conditioned to live that might make it appear that there is not enough. For example, for the most part, the recommendation here in America, the recommendation from the health organizations is that we eat 3 meals a day. And though the portions have changed because we started dealing with this obesity, this is what we're being told. But there are many cultures who survive on 1 meal a day. And this is not because they're starving or they don't have enough resources or food. This is the actual philosophy or custom that they live by, right? There are some people that totally skip breakfast and do just fine. So a lot of times we have to question the information that's coming into us, because a lot of times the information that we receive is information that supports a capitalistic society. Now, this is not to say that I have anything against capitalism, but in its current state, it leaves a lot of room open for greed and suspicious, undermining behavior that causes us to draw up these conspiracy theories as to why anyone would want people to be so afraid. What happens when you're afraid? When you fear for your life and you disconnect yourself from whatever philosophy or systems that you have going on to make sure that you feel sure despite what's going on around you in the physical world, right? I'm a spiritual person, and spiritually we believe in a collective power, meaning all of us together, and a higher power, meaning there are things happening. We are here for a reason, and it's not like these extreme, drastic things are going to happen to wipe out all of humanity. It's just not something that I believe can happen, and definitely not from this coronavirus, right? But at the same time, we want to be careful and mindful. Why do we want to be careful? And the information that we have coming in, it should be limited. Number one, we shouldn't obsess over it and start to let it in our lives, like all day long. But it's important that we do acknowledge what these people are doing around us, right? And possibly take some extra steps to protect ourselves. This doesn't mean hoarding, going crazy, fighting in the supermarket. Like I just heard I read an article that someone was stabbed. I don't know if it was over toilet paper or water in a store under this type of panic. And see, when people panic like that, let's just assume that a narcissistic person has the power to declare martial law on a town or on a city. The way they're able to declare this martial law is being able to prove that people are out of control. There's a pandemic. People are not acting in their right minds. And so then you have these organizations who feel that they know better than you how to make sure that you are safe. And this is how we end up in these situations where you have one small organization or one small group of people telling the masses what they should be doing. I believe that 2020 has been so challenging and so difficult from the top of the year up until now because we are in a new collective spiritual shift. What's happening now is that one of the best things that could happen from everything that we have went through since 2020 has came is that we can acknowledge this narcissistic energy at play and call it out on its tricks and deception by tapping into our individual higher selves. We can meditate more. We can pray more. We can ask ourselves for answers and wait for those answers to come to us. But most importantly, we operate out of love and a higher understanding, eliminating fear. Because why fear something that we have no control over? What we can do is make sure that we're staying clean and not being unconscious, wiping our hands. But does this mean that we shouldn't hug our family or hug our neighbors? I don't think so. I think that this is a mind thing, and how you allow your mind to receive information and perceive it ultimately determines what's going to happen in your life based on your actions. Whatever actions are coming out of these strong feelings. But even the president of the United States did not want to create a panic within the society. But when you have a lot of people around you writing articles about you, making you look dumb and erratic and drawing off of your previous behavior and their experience with you, it's very easy to get other people to believe that the president is lying or that he's crazy, he's undermining the situation. But when you go and you do the numbers for yourself, you have to wonder, why was there not declared in a state of emergency for, let's say, the flu? Or let's say diabetes, where hundreds of thousands of people die every year, or heart disease, right? Because these things happen over time, I understand. However, but flus and colds, they're always traveling. They're always out there. And depending on the person's immune system, they will not make it through these viruses. So I didn't want to today I was going to publish the swivel neck video. I may go ahead and publish it tomorrow. I may up the ante on my videos during this time. You may not see me every time. They may be audios, but I want you to, Leave your comments and your thoughts about this coronavirus and how it has been affecting you. Even if it scared you at first and caused you to act irrationally, I want you to share those stories with me, because what's happening right now is this whole spiritual evolution that we're having is breaking up this capitalistic society that basically kind of creates the conditioning where the masses are left out of having lives of liberty, lives that they can be happy about, lives that they can afford. And people are waking up and realizing that they are creators and there are things that they can do with their own individual uniqueness to be able to contribute to society in a way that makes them happy, in a way that fulfills them and their benefit in the society or certain groups, and they're benefiting themselves, and they're able to make money and currency and live the life that they want to live, instead of living like a slave working for, a small host of Fortune 500 companies, but the masses are working for these companies and never able to truly reach the financial freedom that they want to be able to live the life that they want and exercise the freedoms that they want to exercise. And that's what's happening. There is a dismantling and breaking down of the old systems occurring. And the old systems, like anybody who has full control, particularly in a narcissistic way, is not going to relent easily. You're going to find that more and more oppressive kind of behaviors and declarations will be kind of enforced on the masses for various reasons, like coronavirus, to throw people off. Because if you're concerned about the coronavirus and so everybody else around you is concerned about it, and they're closing their businesses and they're stopping physical contact, it would appear that it would be hard to create, or hard to chase your dreams, or hard to continue on with whatever your plan is. And that's exactly what the narcissist wants. The narcissist wants you to feel defeated. The narcissist wants you to feel helpless, or as if though you have no place, or as if though whatever it is that you may be doing now does not count, because there is this overwhelming potential for this virus to spread, and that becomes the main concern. But is that really the truth? Is the coronavirus in its current form as bad as any other virus that we could catch on a daily basis? And that's the question, and that's the answer that's the question that you need to answer for yourself. And let's just say it is. What can you do to build your immune system to make sure that you are taking care of your body according to natural law, what the natural law will want for you? Even the narcissistic laboratories and people who create GMOs for money, genetically modified foods and seeds to fertilize, and have ruined some of America's farmland with these chemicals, even that particular effort is a clear sign of narcissistic greed. To take what nature already gives the human being to be able to be healthy and sufficiently energized, to take that and develop a way to create a patent on it so that other people can make money from local farmers who just want seeds to grow their tomatoes and whatever it is that they grow, is outrageous. And this coronavirus could very well be one chapter in the awakening of the masses, one chapter in the separation from the masses and the small majority that has created this codependent relationship, where the same people who say that they believe in God and that they believe in a higher power and that they believe they have control over their destiny and they can do anything that they put their minds to, these same people crack, break, bend, and fall short when these kind of when this type of fear-mongering propaganda presents itself. And so this video is just a reminder that you are not by any means necessary supposed to let that happen. And I encourage you to continue thinking for yourself, to continue thinking the best, because what else do you have to lose? You have everything to lose if you start to fear the narcissistic fearmonger who wants you to be in fear. And I'm not pinpointing this narcissist, because these narcissistic people are within these companies, within these political organizations. They're pulling strings. They're forcing people to do certain things and to make certain actions. However, we also have that energy that is struggling to bring the balance. And who's going to win here determines on how many of us can decide to abandon fear and to apply our critical thinking, but most importantly, our higher spiritual self, to be able to give us good answers and ways to operate, and to understand that we are all natural creators with an ability to shape and create a self-sufficient life that is not oppressed by, one organization or one company. But in order for us to do that, we have to continue moving forward collectively. I am an independent creator, and sometimes it's difficult. That's why I appreciate every course, book, anything that anyone buys from me, for the information that I give, for the training that I give. And it's important, if you have your independent creators out there that you love and that you listen to, that you buy their products, if you don't want their products or need their products and you like listening to them, that you support their channels and different things like that, because this is a creator's era, and this is the generation and the era and the chapter within our existence where we are trying to bring balance. And the more we try to bring balance, the more the narcissist will present situations and circumstances to hold the creative back, to hold the masses back, to hold the family back, to scare and disrupt. And when you get to scare and disrupt, you can implement tools behind that appear that they're coming to save the day, when in actual reality they're coming to remove more rights. They're coming to put more restrictions on your life. They're coming to bury you down in your own fear. And so keep creating, keep supporting your creators. Thank you for everyone who supports my channel, everyone who supports thedreamlife.com and the products there. If you like to support or donate to my channel, you can go to paypal.me/adreamlife, and you can read the subscription box below to learn more about what I offer over to dreamlife.com with the You Can't Hurt Me No More self-love kit for empaths who love too hard. It's one of the only, because I did a lot of research, self-love courses that over 12 weeks I not only teach you how to tap into that self-love, but how to initiate the creator within and become self-sufficient. And that's what I do in that course, and in the Street PhD, 16 Laws for Gangster Confidence, and book 1, No More Broke Assness. And the audio is scheduled to be released within the next week, and you can see those links below. If you like this video, prove it by hitting like, giving me a thumbs up. If you know someone who could benefit from this video, please share this video. Make sure that they get it. If they're all frantic, bugging out, one of the people who took all the food off the supermarket shelves, hoarding food, it's not necessary. And if you subscribe to my channel, thank you. And if you have yet to subscribe, I believe you should do that now, and hit that bell notification so you can be notified every time I produce a new video. And look out for notifications this week, because I may, like I said, be up in the ante on my videos. I'm here to support you, and I know you're here to support me. Love and light.